My sister banned me from her wedding, so I vanished to Japan. A week later, her big day collapsed. I got the text while I was packing my bag in my tiny apartment. "You're not invited. Don't come." It was from my sister, and it wasn't the first time she'd pulled something like this. The wedding was in 2 weeks, and she'd made it clear she didn't want me anywhere near it. After years of family drama, I didn't even bother arguing. I just booked a one-way ticket to Japan. Landing in Tokyo was like stepping into another world. The neon streets, the endless shrines, the hum of trains. I could feel the tension in my chest start to ease. I wandered without a plan, sleeping in capsule hotels, eating ramen at midnight, and just letting life happen. Every night, I felt lighter, freer. Back home, the wedding preparations continued, but I wasn't there to watch them unravel my nerves. I checked the news now and then, curious but detached. Then came the first rumor. The caterer had walked out because the deposit hadn't cleared. My sister's fiancé tried to calm everyone, but the chaos had already started to spread. I was in Kyoto the next day, sitting by the Kamo River, sipping matcha, when I got another message. This time it was from a cousin. "The florist canceled. Heard your sister's freaking out." I smiled without guilt. I hadn't wished any of this on her, but watching the perfection she demanded start to crumble from afar had its own dark satisfaction. By the time I hit Osaka, the photographer had quit, claiming the venue wasn't ready. The band refused to play, citing double bookings. I stayed in a tiny hostel, overhearing fellow travelers talk about missed trains and cultural festivals, thinking about how my sister's big day was collapsing like a poorly stacked card tower. The night before the wedding, I wandered through Dotonbori, the lights reflecting off the canal. My phone buzzed relentlessly. Family group chat, texts from distant relatives, frantic calls from people I barely knew. They wanted to know where I was, hoping I'd somehow fix things. I didn't respond. I sat on a bench and watched the neon swirl around me, feeling more at peace than I had in years. Wedding morning came. I was in a small ryokan in Nara, eating a quiet breakfast of rice and grilled fish, when I saw the photos trending online. The venue had flooded overnight after a freak storm. Tables were ruined, decorations soaked, the bride's dress was ruined, the groom's tux ruined, and the guests were stuck in a downpour with no shelter. Social media was filled with clips of soggy chaos, dripping flowers, and a panicked officiant trying to salvage the ceremony. I didn't feel joy. I felt relief. Relief that I wasn't dragged into the middle of it. Relief that I didn't have to witness the arguments. Relief that I had chosen my own path instead of bending to the whims of someone who had made it clear I didn't belong. By the time I returned home a week later, the house was quiet. The wedding had been postponed indefinitely, and the fallout was obvious. My sister's texts were filled with apologies, explanations, and blame shifting. She tried to pin the disaster on vendors, weather, and miscommunication. I read them all, then deleted the conversation without a word. I didn't gloat, I didn't rub it in, I simply unpacked my suitcase and made coffee. My life had carried on while hers had collapsed, and for once, I didn't feel the need to insert myself into the chaos. I had vanished when I needed to, and that distance had been exactly what I needed to see clearly. My own freedom was worth more than anyone's wedding or approval. In the end, she never understood why I went, why I stayed away, or why I didn't answer. And I didn't explain. I just lived my life, quietly, far from the drama, while she figured out the mess she had created herself. It was the most peaceful week I had had in years, and the first time I realized that walking away was sometimes the only way to truly be free.